Welcome back to Dragon Ball Super Anime Review Episode 55. This is I'm reviewing the final episode of Dragon Ball Super dubbed. Episode 131, which is called The Miraculous Conclusion. Farewell, Goku, and until the day we meet again. The battle where the whole final battle where you have Frieza, 17, and Goku. That wraps up in this episode. Basically halfway through it, you had the big humongous brawl. It becomes very exciting, and pretty much like they battle back and forth, and of course Frieza loses golden form during the battle. And then basically the way to eliminate Jiren is by pushing him out of the ring and leaving 17 the only one left standing. With Jiren basically out of the ring, and also 7 Universe lost Goku and Vegeta and Frieza, basically Universe 7 wins. Yep. And of course, well, there was a conversation before that he got eliminated. Top gave a speech to Jiren that he doesn't want to go. He believes him, and gives him a little bit more, let's say, a little more energy. Lasts about a little bit longer before he gets eliminated about halfway through the episode. Yep, and then basically Goku says that he should be able to meet him again, and shows him how much of a good person he is. And Vegeta comments on, man, he was one damn good warrior. 17 gets his wish. Like, he basically, they summon Super Dragon Balls, which I'd say a few of them basically he's never seen before. The only ones who were here at this particular tournament who actually participated in this thing had never seen the balls before. As far as I can tell, I believe that 18 has seen. I don't think 18 has seen the balls before. No, actually, she has. 17 has never seen the balls before. Neither has Gohan. Those two have never seen the balls before. And we see the dragon for the Super Dragon Balls. And of course, well, 17 gives his wish, have all the other universes that were erased be restored, and well, he says, "Can you hurry up? I have an island of animals to protect. Take care." So, wish is granted. All the universes are restored, and something like coming back where they were erased, they go back to doing respective universes. And Jiren and Toph basically have a brief conversation, and of course, apparently restoring them to life also restores their clothes somehow. I don't know how. It's particularly very weird. And like, they say they'll meet Goku again. Like, we do briefly see 6. And apparently Cooler's back, even though we don't see him. I know he came back in the sub. Here he's not seen. Oh, maybe they forgot to put it in. I'm not really sure. But of course they have Khalifa and Kale ask Kaba about going to Super Saiyan 3 at stream right now. And Chaba's like, don't expect a thank you from me, brother. Yep. And of course, well, everybody's like, oh, happy, lucky. Everybody's like happy that 17 won. Frieza's like, can you take me back to hell, please? And well, as a thank you for helping them win, Whis restores Frieza to life. Yep. And then they go back home, and then we have sort of like a closing title sequence. It's sort of like, let me see, like Bulma jumping to Vegeta's arms as soon as he sees him. Frieza's there briefly, and then he goes back to space, where he's like, I have returned the Emperor of the Universe. Goes back to pretty much what he was doing before. We see that 17 has gone on his cruise with his family. My personal guess is he probably like got the boat from Bulma because Bulma's rich. I think, from what I can tell, this might be the same boat that she got when she celebrated her birthday back at the start of the series. And of course, there's a hilarious moment where when Goku arrives home and he's shirtless, and Chi-Chi is not happy with it. Despite the fact, I would think that a woman like her would be very happy to see Goku shirtless. Probably because she probably has seen him shirtless before many times. They're like, put on a shirt. It's like, okay, fine. Then they have a party to welcome Bola to the world, and basically Frieza and Vegeta and Goku, like, they really are itching to fight each other, so they take the fight briefly, and then their respective wives are like, men. But I would have liked to know that Now in the sub, these two have no dialogue at all, which is kind of odd. Yes. Now in the case for Bulma's perspective, there's a reason for that. Why she has no dialogue in this particular scene. Was she on screen? The reason was because her sub actress passed away. Yeah, she passed away last year. I yeah, it was actually 2 years ago she passed away. Yeah, and of course the actress who played Bulma is now over in Black Clover. Well, recently voicing Meliona, the one who's the captain of the Crimson Lions. Yep. And of course, well, Goku reveals he can't exactly get there yet because he had reached up in the sub. He said, "I can't reach it anymore. I can't do it anymore," despite the fact that he does do it later in the Super Dragon Ball Heroes series. Now, chronologically, what comes next? Right after this episode, this film. This film came next. I have reviewed this film already when it came out. Yep. This overall was a really good episode in the series. And I don't know if anybody has pointed out about the title of this episode. It's the same type of title they used in DBZ. Yeah, it's the same title they used in that show, and I believe GT as well, where you use a very similar wording for the title. And it's like waving goodbye to the audience. May see him again in the future. Who knows? But yeah. Overall, really good episode. Now let's talk about my final thoughts on the series. Now, I start watching the series recently, like as of like last year. I actually about 2 years. When I first jumped onto the series a couple years ago. It was during the Black Goku Saga arc. It was basically about halfway through it. That's when I jumped on in the sub. I pretty much watched it from that point forward, and then pretty much was hearing the dub. I was like basically just okay. I already watched the series, and of course my friend Edgar Bakes, you gotta watch the dub. So I watched the dub. And I got through the series pretty quickly. Yeah, by the time I caught up to the dub, it was actually at the start of this particular arc. Now, while I've been watching the series, and of course reviewing it, I have been buying these. The Dragon Ball Super volumes. Volume 1, I picked this up from Comic-Con. A lot of these other ones I picked up from Best Buy or Walmart. Volume 2 with an autograph from Todd Eppercorn. The guy who actually voices Jocko, who makes his appearances for the arc. Yeah, the arc of this episode. Volume 3. Volume 4. Volume 5. And each of these ones only contained about 12 to about 13 episodes apiece. That's how long these ones were. Volume 6. Volume 7. And this one right here is the most recent volume for the series. Yeah, there's actually another one coming out next week, which I believe this next one's going to go to like episode like 117. Yeah, that's where the next one's going to go. And I think possibly 10 probably will cover like, and this is my personal guess because, well, 31 is the last episode series. I think like the 10th and last volume will probably cover the last 14 episodes of the series. That's my personal guess. Yep. Now, this film right here, Battle of Gods, I got this film prior to the start of the series, and I've seen online, and I've talked with my friend Edgar. It's a good film, and I don't mind the change they make to it. This film I saw in theaters earlier this year, and I was so happy to get this damn thing. Now, I wasn't initially bringing this to the Comic-Con for Christopher Sabat to sign. Yeah, I got a chance to meet a few dub actors. But he actually does sharper autographs, so I got some of My Hero Academia to hear some. Now, before I watched the series, I only had met one voice actor who actually did do a dub work for the series, and that was Todd Eppercorn. He was the only one who did. And then after watching the series, I met Christopher Sabat, the guy who voices Vegeta, Piccolo, and about 50% of the characters in this franchise. And I've also met Kyle Herbert, the guy who voices this guy. He's also voicing many other characters, including, like, aside from Gohan, and of course being the narrator for DBZ, he's also known for voicing Kiba from Naruto, Sasuke from Bleach, Bon from Blue Exorcist, Escanor from Seven Deadly Sins. The guy's one fantastic dub actor. Yeah, overall, I only met like two since I actually started watching the series. And it is something, though, the series actually ended in Japan last year. And it took until just this month, at least yesterday, to actually end the series. I kind of predicted the series would end yesterday, like about 2 months ago. That's what I kind of predicted was how far the series was going. And that's pretty much how it is. In the case Super itself, it's a fantastic series. Though I would say that of the arcs per se for the series, I would say the worst arc for the whole series is that two-parter involving Goku fighting the cop and Vegeta. That by far was really bad. It had really nothing to do with the series at all. Just basically a two-part involving what Goku believes the strongest fighter in Universe 7, even though he's actually pretty weak. Yeah. He pops up in this two-parter, and as far as I know, he is never seen again after that. Yeah, and this comes like right after the Universe 6 stuff. Yeah, this is actually before, like, this is one of those filler episodes that really has nothing to do with the series at all. I like the fact they actually had two tournaments in the series, which is quite nice. The fact that it's now in the case the first one, it was traditional one-on-one with a prize. This time was a battle royale for the Universal Survival arc. Yep. But the one thing I thought was really weird about the arcs for the series, it's weird though that the last 10 episodes that are considered part of the Black Goku arc are considered part of it, even though these episodes have nothing to do with Black Goku at all. Yeah, I'm like, why the heck are these episodes considered part of this arc? Even though, like I said, they have nothing to do with the damn story. Let me look up here. I think it was like, I think it was like what? It was like 60 something. Because when I jumped onto the series when I was watching the dub, it was like it was during the start of the Universal Survival arc. That's when I jumped onto the series. I think it was just around like episode, I'd say 80 when I jumped on last year. Now the thing is, let's see. I think it's 67. Yes, which is actually the 21st episode of this arc. Yeah. The thing is, the last 9 episodes have nothing to do with the story arc at all. I'm kind of like, why? And this is particularly very weird. I have no idea of why in the world this is. Why the heck are 9 episodes like considered to be part of the Goku Black Goku arc, which are episodes 68 through 76? Why are these 9 episodes considered part of this arc, even though that the arc itself wrapped up with episode like 68? Yeah, it wrapped up a particular arc. Just call these like the nothing episode. Just yeah, it's particularly very odd the fact the series did this. Yeah, but a lot of the other arcs really had some of them really had nothing to do with whatever was going on. Like for example, like right after they wrap up the Universe 6 stuff, which is with like episode like 41. That's where they wrap it up. It manages to stretch out for about 5 more episodes. Again, another set of episodes that really have nothing to do with this main story at all. It's Aftermath episode. Just call these the Aftermath episodes. That's one thing I did not understand about some of these episodes. Yeah, if you look at, let's say, Golden Frieza, for example. I would say about 2 or 3 of them really had nothing to do with the main story itself. Yeah, but at least that in the case of Golden Frieza, aka Resurrection After Adaptation, at least this one basically all the episodes that are considered part of this arc actually do feel like part of it. The pilot episode, now for the first couple arcs, they make sense. But starting with Universe 6, let's just have basically episodes that really have nothing to do with like whatever stuff is going on. Like technically, if you look at let's say Universe 6, which is like 19 episodes, it's listed as that. If you take out the 5 episodes that are not even part of this particular arc, it's only like 14 episodes, which is slightly longer than Golden Frieza and a little bit shorter than Golden Beer and God Destruction Beerus. The Black Goku arc, also known as the Future Trunks arc. Yeah, take out the last 9 episodes, this is only like 21 episode arc. Yeah, it's kind of the same thing in Universal Survival. Yeah, the Wiki actually does kind of fix this little problem. Wikipedia does not. I don't know what they do this for. Yeah, if you look at episode 77 through, let's see, I think it's like 90 something. It is. Yeah, I think it's 95. Yes, from episodes 77 to 89, roughly about 12 episodes. Now, the Wiki site for Dragon Ball lists these episodes as the, let's just say, prelude arc to this particular thing. I don't know why they're listed as part of the actual thing. It's particularly very weird when this becomes a particular series. But all in all, great series. I kind of wish they pick up these arcs a little better. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, that's it for this particular review. Now, I am planning on getting the next volume when it comes out, which I believe comes out next week. Yeah, next week is when the next one come out. And the interesting thing about these super volumes is that each one of these volumes, with the exception of volume 8, are characters who actually previously appeared in the franchise. Like Gohan. I would say 6 is the only, like, these two right here, I would say these three right here are the only ones featuring like new characters. Yeah, think of the covers of these ones. The rest of these feature characters who have previously appeared in the series, and plus, one thing I thought was really, really cool for the series to do is to use actual stock footage. Yeah, that was one thing I gotta give high praise to the series for doing, is using stock footage from the previous series. Yeah, they use actual stock footage to, let's just say, mention stuff like the stuff with the Cell stuff, the Android stuff, and a lot of other stuff, which they actually didn't do that until like the Goku Black Era. That's when they finally started using stock footage in that particular series. They did use a little bit of Dragon Ball for like the last arc of this series, mostly put its last stock footage in DBZ, which that series became famous. You have not much else to say about this particular series. Really good. I do recommend checking it out if you can, because for some reason on the Funimation website, they only list the first like 117 episodes dubbed. They don't list the last 14 episodes dubbed for some reason. I'm like, why? Why would you do this for? It's particularly very bizarre. The rest of the series, no problem at all. I mean, look, let's say One Piece. They have all the episodes that have been released so far. Well, basically, some of the even like they got to basically what they got to so far for the dub for that one, and the sub they basically have the most recent episode. They do pretty much like a lot of the series, but not for Super for some reason. Don't know why. Yeah. So that's it for this particular review. I'm gonna quickly do 2 more videos, and that will be it today. Okay. But see you next review. Bye.